This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Purdy Insurance, Brewers Outlet, and Sunbury Motor Company. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Great to have you with us on the show today. Opening half hour brought to you by Sunbury Motors. 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Auto Home, Ford, Kia, Hyundai, the best in new inventory. Great pre-owned inventory with the all-important Sunbury Motors guarantee. What does that mean? Well, they go over every vehicle on the lot, and because they do, it makes your buying experience better. You actually can walk around and go, I feel pretty good about what I'm seeing out here. And the service department, outstanding. I don't care whether it's quick lane, inspections, routine, difficult. They handle it all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15, Hummels Wharf, online, sunburymotors.com. So before we get rolling, is there anything you wish to talk about, Todd?
Not off the top of my head.
Good. Okay, we're done. All right. Have a good show, everybody. Love it. I do want to talk, actually, about the world famous Tush Push. All right. And I think we do need to talk a little bit about it because I think there needs to be, at least to me, some context with this. And I'll explain what the context happens to be. This goes in two parts. First of all, as you know, do I care at all whether the Eagles win the game or not?
No.
Exactly. I don't. So, in other words, there is no emotional dog in the hunt for me. Right? I mean, and it's when you don't have a dog in the hunt, you can be objective. As opposed to trying to talk to an Eagles fan, it's like, okay, I got it. Like, you listen, I mean, Matt's a perfect example of that when we had Matt Catrillo on. He's so invested in the team, they can't do anything wrong. All right? And I'm sitting there like going, no, they do a lot of things wrong. It's like, I have no offense, but they do. And that's why, for example, you talk about like the play the other day at the goal line, right, where they're clearly offside. They clearly have moved. I mean, live they moved, right? And okay. And to be honest with you, it actually determined the outcome of the game because it was not called. All right, but let's get into the push itself. So let's do this in two parts. A, it's legal. Since it's legal, you have to have the ability to do it. Nobody else in the league can even remotely runs it like the Eagles do. Nobody. Not even close. And you and I both know that, right? I mean, nobody's close to running them the way they do. And, I mean, the Bills try to run it. They have a big, powerful quarterback. Excellent center in Connor McGovern. Excellent tackle in Deion Dawkins. Good offensive line. They can't run it. All right. Now here comes the part where I say but. There was, here we go. Just settle down. Okay? Use your mind here for a moment. It always helps to think. Thinking's a positive, no matter what you think. Right? And here's when this really, the roots of this go back to Matt Leinart, USC, and Reggie Bush against Notre Dame, right? That's the roots of this. And I didn't like it then. It was against the rules then. They got away with it. And the reason is the danger part is not at the line of scrimmage. Okay? The danger part is not at the line of scrimmage. That's blocking. There are reasons why in every level of football you can't hit somebody in the back. It's a safety issue. Block somebody in the back, it's a penalty. Clipping, penalty. Okay? Blindside block, penalty. Okay? Right. Here, it's the one play you're allowed to hit somebody in the back. And what I don't like about it is this. It's the play in the open field, right, Todd? Where how many times have we seen in the open field offensive lineman come in, tight end comes in, and they hit their own guy from behind to push him beyond the first down marker? How often do we see that now?
Every level.
Yeah. And see, that's the part that's dangerous, and that's why I think you do have to take a look at the play. Because you can't say it's okay to do it at the line of scrimmage. Because the argument's going to be, well, why don't you do it in the open field too? And the open field is that's where it becomes dangerous. So it has to be an all or nothing thing. And I've never been crazy about in the open field, a guy comes along and just like, what are you doing? It makes no sense to me. And if you can't do it there, you can't do it anywhere. And that's why I look at it and go, okay, wait a minute. We need to think about this for a moment. It has nothing to do with the ability to get a first down with it. But to me, I don't think you should be allowed to hit any player in the open field, in the back on the field anywhere, including your own guy. That part I've never liked. That's where it's dangerous for football. That to me, that's the danger right there.
And to be quite honest, in high school football, it's not the tush push. It is that. I mean, that happens. Yeah. The last 2 seasons, I've noticed it more and more. Yeah. It's always there's always that pile up. A yard beforehand after they run 8 yards, and then now there's 1 or 2 offensive linemen coming to fly in to push the pile across the first down line.
Yeah. See that's where I have an issue with it. Is that to me you can't allow it at the line of scrimmage because it allows you to do it all over the field. Like maybe not. Okay, let's think about this for a minute. And that's how I look at it. The danger is out in the open field. And to me, you've got to clean it up across the board. And that's how I view the play. The way the Eagles execute it, going for first rounds, has been unquestionably outstanding. Well coached, right personnel, quarterback that can run it beautifully. Everything. Okay? I mean, everything that goes, they've done a great job with it. It is a play that, for the vast majority of the time, can't be stopped. Not always, but the vast majority of the time, can't be stopped. So that's why I understand why Eagles fans are like, oh, don't take it away. You can't touch it. I got it, except there's more to it than your minds can handle. Okay. Hey, to me, it's the open field. If you're allowed to do it at the line of scrimmage, they allow you to do it in the open field. That's where the problem is. Because now you've got a guy with the ball, and it may be his own guy, but he's hitting him from behind. How many injuries do we see of guys getting hurt just from contact from their own guy?
Hey, I'm sitting here. I keep going back to Josh Simmons hitting 21 miles an hour on that interception on Sunday. I do not want Josh Simmons at 21 miles an hour running into my back.
Nope. See, and it's everything dealing with the back is outlawed in football except this play. Everything else in the back is not allowed. Unless you're turning at the line. You know what I mean? You run a twist at the line of scrimmage, you get hit in the back. But all the other penalties are about full contact into the back. Because when a guy's twisting at the line of scrimmage and being hit in the back, whatever, that's that's in that confined area. But that hit in the back, right, and the push, that's the issue I have with the play. That's where the reality is. That's where it becomes a dangerous play, and especially in the open field.
I do wonder if this is the last year for it, at least for the tush push. But
yeah,
they're also not going to be as angry as they are this week either, unless something happens in the Super Bowl or something along those lines.
Explain that again.
I said, everybody's mad about that play, them leaving early on Sunday.
Yeah,
so everybody's upset about the tush push this week. I just wonder,
right.
My point was, are they going to be that upset in February when it's time to vote again?
Well, the majority of the league has voted against it,
Well,
you need to have 75. The problem is that the teams they can't get enough teams to swing over because more than 50% of the league is voting to kill it,
Well, I'm wondering if this is, I think it was 10 teams last year that kept it from being banned. I wonder if they'll get some of those 10 teams this year.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, the reason, look, they officiated it wrong on Sunday because they're looking the wrong way. They're looking to see if Kansas City's offsides. It's almost like they got off guard that, oh, wait a minute, the Eagles were offside. Okay. And they got caught off guard by it. But that aside, that's just a penalty. I could care less about that. I think it determined the outcome of the game because they missed it. But we talk about penalties being missed all the time that determine outcomes of games, and that was one of them. But it's the actual, is it a safe play? And because they allow it at the line of scrimmage, it's being allowed in the open field as well, and there's where the issue comes in.
I must say it's the first argument against it where I was kind of nodding my head and agreeing. So,
right. Well, that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm trying to advocate some logic to it. Because there's more to it than just Jalen Hurts sneaking the ball. Right? If it were just a play where they're sneaking the ball, okay. But the fact now it's allowed all over the field, I think it has to be an all or nothing proposition. So what they did is they went all in on your ability to push, which includes, hey, it's 3rd down and 15. He caught the ball at 12 yards, and two linemen came over and shoved him over the line. How many times have we seen that? That's a dangerous play. And that's why I'm against it, is because it's become a staple all over the field and not just in the confined area.
It's strange because I don't remember that becoming legal. All of that.
Well, when they allowed pushing from behind, that's where it became legal. See what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't remember the whole when pushing from behind became legal, or was it just something they just started doing and nobody stopped them?
No. It became legal because it was. Remember with the Notre Dame play with, and this is in college, of course, but the NFL had the same rules. When Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart into the end zone, remember what the hue and cry was about that? You were not allowed to do that. Now, it's a college example, but the pros had the same rule at the time. When they changed the rule, geez, I'd have to look that up. Let's see. I'll literally have to go to the web here. NFL changes rule on pushing from behind. There'll be a lot of things about they decided to keep it, blah, blah, blah. I've got that part. But when was it changed to go that way? I mean, let me see here. Okay. When did? Here, I'll try that. I mean, it had to be around 2010 or something like that, right? Because it's been in for a while. It just has come to the forefront because of how brilliantly the Eagles have run the play. Okay, how did it become legal to be so pushy in the NFL? All right. I like
that headline.
Yeah, the LA Times. Sam Farmer wrote it in 2022. Ding, 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 ding. Remember the Bush push, 2005, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, okay? Controversial moment because aiding the runner in that way was not allowed in college football at the time compared to what's happening now in the NFL. They got a whole bunch of... It doesn't say when they changed the rule, though. For decades, NFL rules prohibited offensive players from directly aiding a runner in any way. But in 2005, 6 months before the Bush push, the league clarified its stance. There would be no pulling of ball carriers by teammates, but pushing was too difficult to legislate. So 2005. So they changed the rule in the NFL actually 6 months before the Bush push.
And it's just really just kind of taken them 10 years to realize how advantageous it would be, I guess.
Well, no, it's because I've always been against it, right? Always have. And I mean, I'm talking about the open field, especially the open fields. It's because of the open field stuff. I mean, I realize that around the line of scrimmage, I got that. It's more confined. But every time I've watched a game and a guy in the open field is trying to get the extra 2 or 3 yards, suddenly you go out there and you see it happen. And everybody goes, hey, I'm like, guys, no. See, it's the open field part that's bothered me for years about it. Not how the Eagles run it, but you can't have one without the other. That's how I look at it. To me, you can't have one without the other.
And the interesting part is, though, when they do talk about it, they're not talking about banning. They're just talking about banning this specific play, not the overall of pushing from behind now.
Right. Yeah. See, Todd. To me, you've got to talk about the whole thing. All right. It's got to be whatever, you know what I mean? It's got to be the whole thing, because the more dangerous one is in the open field, not at the line of scrimmage. It's not like there's not danger at the line of scrimmage. Of course there is. But the one in the open field, because you've got linemen coming in at full speed trying to get the runner across a first down line or something like that. You see what I mean? I mean, that to me becomes like, and to me, that's dangerous for everybody. It's dangerous for the guy trying to make the tackle. It's dangerous for the runner. Like, what the heck? Because you're doing it at full speed. That's where I've got an issue with it. And your point, which is a great one, about, well, they're talking about just doing the way the Eagles do it. Man, you can't, to me, you can't do it like that. You can't.
And, it is a wonder to me the way that nobody has approached it from that angle either. Because you think you could get them on your side with that approach rather than just banning one play.
I mean, the reason is this. Todd, you and I sit there and we try and look at the whole game, right? And that's what we try to do, look at the whole game. And too many people just look at the specifics of how the Eagles run it. No. I appreciate how the Eagles run it. It's well coached. It's brilliantly executed. But it's led to the open field play, which I've been dead set against all the time. And on broadcasts, I've mentioned it. In game broadcasts. Whether Penn State's done it or the other team's done it. It's never, I've always felt there was a danger to it.
See, I was smart enough to say no when you asked if I had something to talk about.
Yeah. Just thought we'd get into it.
Party time, game time, or just fun time. Doesn't matter what time it is because it's Brewers Outlet time. The beverage supermarket has the area's largest beer selection. Imports, microbrews, ciders, and domestics. Pick from over 100 ice-cold 12-packs and dozens of 24-ounce singles. Soda, snacks, hot sauces, fresh roasted peanuts. Make it one-stop party shopping, and don't forget the pickle bar. So whatever you're celebrating or just doing it up, Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street, Sunbury wants to see you. And thank you for your years of patronage.
Fall in Central PA means hunting season, football games, and tailgates. Make sure you're rolling up in a brand new Ford from Sunbury Motors Ford. Over 30 2025 Ford Explorers are ready to roll with discounts up to $6,200, starting at just $38,530. 16 2025 Ford Escapes are here with prices slashed up to $9,000 off. Priced from only $26,770. That is Sunbury Motors Ford's lowest price ever. And for truck season, over 70 Ford F-150 F-Series trucks in stock with discounts up to $10,416. That's right, a brand new F-150 for under $45,000. Load up for the big game, gear up for hunting season, or just hit the road this fall in the Ford you've been waiting for. Sunbury Motors Ford, the North Forest Road Auto Plaza in Sunbury and at sunburymotors.com. Run by the Mertz family for 110 years.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now, from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Half hour brought to you by our good friends at Purdy Insurance. Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, RV. Medicare products. October 15th, when the open enrollment period begins. And you need pros to help you out. Got to be able to somehow get through it. And that's why you need the pros at Purdy Insurance. They'll do everything they can to save you money. All at Purdy Insurance. Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Yes. All right. See, I knew we had something to talk about today. But there's more to the push play than just what you see when the Eagles run it. To me, it's all over the field, and that's why I would take a longer look at the play because of what's happening all over the field. And somehow, some way, I've made you at least see some of the logic in it. How, I don't know, but but you also haven't heard it presented that way either, have you?
No.
So, yeah. But there you go. I mean, that's how I view it. It's more than just a play that takes place at the line of scrimmage. There's much more to it than that. So, yeah.
I'm also going to assume that I'm the only one that made it to the end of the Phillies game last night.
I didn't see a second of the Phillies game last night. I did not see a second of that last night.
I do wonder if the Dodgers are in trouble just because of their bullpen.
Their bullpen, and this has been pointed out by both Bob Nightingale and Tim Kirchin when we've had them on the show, they have discussed the Dodger bullpen and that it is an issue.
I mean, Shohei shoved it last night. He had five no-hit innings, and It was 4-0. And by the time the sixth was over, the Phillies were ahead. Yeah. And then Then it was tied in the ninth, and they blew the lead in the ninth too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. When you spent that much money, you couldn't find a couple of guys. You can't claim you're out of money.
No, and that's sparked talk today that he's willing to play the outfield and pitch in relief on games he's not the starter, like if he's not going to start, and that just doesn't. I don't think that bodes well for his health if they plan to ride him that hard for a month and a half.
I've never seen him pitch in relief. Have you?
I think when he first came to the Angels, I think that first year I think he did. I don't think he started until like the second or third year, because didn't he have Tommy John like that first year too? I think this is his second Tommy John.
Jeez. That's a hard way to live, man.
Yeah. I'm not
Another Tommy John. How many times you need Tommy John? Jeez. Not even Tommy John had more than once.
Well, I mean, as hard as he throws and the way some of his pitches move, I can see why his elbow ligaments don't last.
Yeah, I understand that. Wow. Yeah, because there's a different regimen that is needed to warm up when you are coming out of the bullpen. That's why in the postseason, you often see, okay, they're going to bring in one of the starters now. And like, boy, man, he doesn't look that. Well, there's a reason they don't look as effective. The reason they don't look as effective is quite simple. They're not. There's a different warm-up regimen for a starter compared to a reliever. I mean, a reliever's got to get up and get going right away. A starter can sit there and, they go through, who knows how many minutes. It depends on the pitcher as to, how many minutes they think they need to warm up, how many pitches they need to warm up, how long they need to stretch, things like that, as opposed to, hey, look, get going. We need you ASAP. Move it. I mean, that's a big difference.
I wonder what it's like for somebody like Clay Holmes, who was a reliever and now spent all season starting. And I it's got to depend on what the Mets do, obviously. But if somebody like that has a harder adjustment after doing it already.
Well, when Clay was here with the Spikes, he was a starter.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, that's all I knew him as. I was kind of interested, like, oh, okay, I'll give the guy credit. He's gone out and he's been able to, become a reliever. I gave him credit for converting over. Like, okay, there you go. Now he's back to being a starter, which is where he was when he first started his career. And I would know. I saw him. But I just think you get into a certain pattern and regiment when you are in the bullpen, and I think that it's different. Look, Madison Bumgarner obviously did it. John Lackey did it. Both those two career starters, and both made it work. Okay.
Well, I think that just goes to your point, because you remember the dudes that actually could do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because John Lackey had to do it in 2013 in the World Series, and Madison Bumgarner had to do it in 2014 in the World Series. And I remember Pedro Martinez a long time ago in an American League Division Series throwing 6 no-hit innings over the final 6 innings against Cleveland to clinch the series in the 5th and deciding game. So
that was the game that he didn't know if he could go pitch for the 3rd time in a series, right?
Yeah, and he threw nothing but junk.
Yes, I do remember that.
Junk all over the place. It was one junk ball after another. It reminded me of me. Except mine weren't going over the plate.
I was going to say, I think Pedro's junk moved a little more than yours did.
I'm just like, are we near the plate? Keep going, Steve. I don't know. I have no idea if I'm near the plate or not. Hanging in there, doing it, getting it done. But yeah, there aren't many guys I've seen over the years that have been able to do it. How about that?
That's the other thing is we get the West Coast stuff is a little late for us. I did not realize the Mariners have won 10 in a row.
The Mariners have been playing great. All the concentration has been on Cal Raleigh breaking Mickey Mantle's major league record for home runs in the season by a switch hitter. And which is a great accomplishment, but nobody's talked about how great they're playing right now. Now, we did mention yesterday how they overtook Houston. Or no, Monday. Monday we mentioned that they had overtaken Houston.
I think people forget, again, because they're on the West Coast, how good that pitching staff has been the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
I was like, a lot of people don't know about Brian Wu and those guys.
Oh, just a terrific pitching staff. Terrific pitching staff. And it makes a big difference.
They haven't hit for 2 years. Now you see how good they can be when they have that pitching staff and they can hit a little bit.
They can hit a little bit. Now some of the fans know at least a little bit more about the Mariners around here because they played here this year.
Yeah.
And that gave everybody a little more perspective on them. So,
how much you think? How angry would MLB be if it ended up being the Mariners and the Brewers in the World Series? It'd be right up there with the Thunder Pacers NBA final.
Yeah, I know. and look, can you really sit there and take a lot of time in the pregame show to talk about how 55 years ago the Seattle Pilots moved to Milwaukee? Hey, can we really do that story and have America intrigued by it?
Hey, if it brings ball 4 and Joe Schultz, the manager of the Pilots, back, I'm all for it.
Joe Schultz. Joe Schultz. He was the third base coach for the Cardinals. That's who he was, the third base coach for the Cardinals. And, like, holy mackerel. And, yeah. And he manages that team. I remember he had Nate Mincher, the first baseman. He was their all-star along with Mike Hegan, a catcher. And they had a shortstop by the name of Gus Gill, and they had a pitcher by the name of Diego Segui. And Diego Segui is the only player, the only one, that pitched for both the Seattle Pilots and the Seattle Mariners. And it's really an illness that I know this.
I was going to say, if memory serves, like back when I was in high school back in the early 90s, Diego Segui was the area scout around here because he used to come to watch the Montoursville kids back at that time.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know. That is so cool. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. But yeah, that's.
No, he just died this year too.
Did he? Yeah, he did die this year.
I
mentioned it. They played in a place called Six Stadium, SICKS, Six Stadium, and it had 20,000 seats. That was it. 20,000 seats. That's all it had. And the reason that the color scheme for the Brewers in 1970 was what it was is that the move to Milwaukee happened so late when Bud Selig bought the team that they took the old Seattle Pilots jerseys and put Milwaukee and put Brewers on them for home and away. They were the Pilots jerseys.
I was just looking at his obituary. He pitched in the Mexican leagues until he was 46 in the 80s.
Oh, that I believe. That I believe. I remember, he pitched for the Red Sox at one point. I remember he was good. Like everybody, they liked him a lot. But
I was going to say, you don't hang around in the game that long without people liking you.
Oh, no. I mean, they liked him. Fans loved him. Like, okay. Right. And, one of the reasons they loved him is he had, two parts. Great personality, but he also could pitch. It's actually one of the keys. If you can actually pitch, the fans will love you.
Well, when you're not a good person, your talent has to outweigh your personality sometimes.
Yeah. There are days where your personality pays off.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get to the Hall of Fame based on all your stats, but
it keeps you in the game for 60 years, though.
Yeah, but for 60 years, people are able to hang tough with you. Yeah, what the heck? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so Kevo sent me a text. I'm resigning as the play-by-play voice of Shikellamy football. No, it's not. No, maybe not. Okay. He says, I wanted to send this to you earlier but didn't have a chance. Shikellamy got penalized 3 times 2 weeks ago for a push. In high school, you can't do that. It's the first time I've seen it called in 30-plus years of covering high school sports. 3 times in one game. The officials were actually looking for it at one point. The players see it on Sunday and think they can do it on Friday night, but they can't.
That's odd you say that because I watched Mifflinburg run the Tush Push twice already this season.
Well, evidently, according to Kevin, it's not legal.
Well, we'll see how that. I'm going to guess it depends on the crew now. if they're calling it or not.
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I guarantee, I know at least twice Mifflinburg ran a literal tush push, because, you know, if you have a 6'3", 220-pound quarterback in high school, you certainly should take advantage of it.
Yeah, I know I would. What the heck? You know, let's go, guys.
That's a first down falling forward for the most part.
Exactly, and that's what you're looking for there. Yeah, I didn't realize in high school it was not legal. Maybe it's only illegal when Shikellamy runs it.
Don't tell those people that.
They're 3-1. They can take a joke these days.
This is true.
When they were 0-4 last year, nobody was laughing.
No.
But they're loving life now. We're going to do our high school roundtable tomorrow. It's nothing but good news after last week's game. Selinsgrove won, Shikellamy won. So there you go. So Kevin says Shikellamy 2 weeks ago about penalized 3 times for a push. How about that? And I did not know it was not the rule in high school football.
Honestly, Schick's quarterback's another quarterback I'd run it with. He's about 6'1", 215, and he's a big dude too. So
yeah. But see, I don't broadcast high school football. I haven't broadcast high school football since I think I did an all-star game in 1995 or 6 or something like that. I think it's the last high school game I did. So I'm not sure if there are specific high school rules I would or would not know about. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm glad he sent me the note. Because I think it added to it. Yeah.
He's gonna take that part out of the show. That was a compliment.
The what?
He's gonna keep this part of the show. You gave him a compliment.
Yeah, I think it's going to be part of it on his phone. I can see it now. Thank you for calling Kevin Hurd. Kevin did a great job of letting me. So I don't know if anybody's been in. To be honest with you, they're already Virginia Tech corner. One of the Virginia Tech corners entered the transfer portal. 48 hours after Brent Pry was let go. Okay? I'm telling you, this is going to happen left and right with those two schools. Because they're going to be people. Because right now they're all allowed to go in because the head coach is gone. So you're allowed to go. There's like I think a 30-day window. Something like you can't play this year.
I was going to say, they can't play this year though.
Cannot play this year. But if they put their name in and don't play in the 5th game, they retain their eligibility for this year.
I mean, just thinking from strictly a player point of view, you're almost crazy not to make them re-recruit you.
Now, if you're a senior, I don't think.
Well, yeah.
If you're like, say you're a 5th year senior, so in other words, you took your redshirt year, because the COVID year is out for them now. Okay. But if you're a 5th year player, and it's your redshirt senior season, you've got to play it out. Anybody else, like you're a junior in eligibility in any way, shape, or form, or lower, do you want to play in the 5th game, or do you want to be with a sinking ship?
I'll be honest, I'm making the new coach in December re-recruit me.
Yeah, but that also means you're not playing the rest of this year. You can't. In other words, if you opt to not play, in other words, play the next game, your fourth game, but the fifth game comes up, and what's interesting is Penn State is going to play UCLA at the Rose Bowl. Guess what number game that is?
5.
Fifth game.
They might be handing you a roster when you walk in on that Saturday.
I can see it now. It's going to be like sitting there like in the movie Major League, and Euchre's like, paper. I don't really know much about this guy, but I'm sure wherever he was, he did a hell of a job. Yeah. I go, he's looking at me, I don't know where this guy came from. Just sit there, look at the numbers.
Fall in Central PA means hunting season, football games, and tailgates. Make sure you're rolling up in a brand new Ford from Sunbury Motors Ford. Over 30 2025 Ford Explorers are ready to roll with discounts up to $6,200, starting at just $38,530. 16 2025 Ford Escapes are here with prices slashed up to $9,000 off. Priced from only $26,770. That is Sunbury Motors Ford's lowest price ever. And for truck season, over 70 Ford F-150 F-Series trucks in stock with discounts up to $10,416. That's right, a brand new F-150 for under $45,000. Load up for the big game, gear up for hunting season, or just hit the road this fall in the Ford you've been waiting for. Sunbury Motors Ford, the North Forest Rate Auto Plaza in Sunbury and at sunburymotors.com. Run by the Mertz family for 110 years.